that whatever I see is smiling at me. Love is who I am.
So welcome to this light activation part of the video, where we will simply do that together as a light exercise. You can do it at any time you want. So it is very simple. I would like you to sit down. Please don't cross your legs because the energy doesn't really flow in an equal balance proportion. So just put your feet, I really recommend to do it bare feet, barefoot, so that you can really feel the energy. You're usually going to feel, especially when you're very hypersensitive, strong pulsations, tingles, almost like pinching needles in your legs, especially the feet, when the energy will start to be absorbed from you. Okay, so what we're doing here in this exercise, we're actually, through the divine pulse of light energy that vacuums through us and the alignment of our inner core, the spiraling center that then translates into our own cosmic heart nature, which you can imagine as a direct mimicking of that divine pulse of light that now is rooted in your heart because it did activate within you. Then we're using that as an anchor point to draw forth from the white column, which we're going to create first, and then through that column that's just going to suck out all the energy, and it's going to be surrendered back into source, so that you can always feel and tune into your true self, your true desires, what you truly need to do in each moment without doubt, through the purity, not influenced through external reality. Let's say, an example, you want to do something because you want to run away because you're too influenced with the external energies. When you are rooted in your center, you will know what to do in each moment without these external influencers. So you won't get agitated, you won't get burnt out. You will simply know your heart space and each step of the way guided through the life force of your inner spirit. And that's the intention of the angelic core-seated human heart and our mission here on earth. So let us begin. Just center yourself. Sit firmly with feet down, barefoot, per request. Very optional, but very highly recommended. And now just simply make the invocation that you wish to be the highest vessel for the light of spirit, the highest vessel for divine love. Take a few deep breaths in your heart, and as you do so, imagine that with breathing, you're reanimating your heart. You're making it wider, broader, more expanded, really animated with life force. How you do that is that you imagine this great pulse of light, right? Like an amazingly omnipresent spiral that's always hovering above you. It is you. It's not even above you. It's just from your current sitting kind of position. It's how you acknowledge it. And then you feel that pulse of light sending a direct cord link with your heart, cosmic heart center. And seeing that starting to create a spiral and rotating in your higher heart center. And then imagine when you do so, align yourself with the white pillar. So imagine yourself in a white column of light as a direct descent of spirit into form. So as this pulse of light is sending down, beaming into your heart, automatically it creates a sacred space of this white pillar of light for your ascended self. You're safe, you're completely purified, you're completely unified in this white column. And take a moment to just feel your column, to feel this white column of light, to feel this white pillar presence. If you can't feel it or see it, you can simply affirm, I am. I am that I am. Now with this focus, now send that cord, send that light cord lower, and send it through all your lower chakras until you see it moves, its pulse, your electric pulse moves, and it travels to your feet, so that you can literally feel the roots that are growing out of your feet. And these roots are going down, and these roots, because you're now on the planet, are connected with every relationship you've ever had, with every place you've ever visited, with every energetic connection you ever made. And that's okay, because you were meant to see light here. But on your journey, on your travels, perhaps you have also gathered a lot of the clogginess, a lot of the density that has built up in your roots. And you can do now that by energetically scanning these roots. So close your eyes, connect to your third eye center, and from the third eye center, send again a cord of light. See it, zoom in to your roots. See where there's any black or dark brownish spots, or even grayish spots, or just denser energy, the coagulated energy that doesn't move as fast as it should, because as you raise your vibratory levels, you have a greater impact on this planet, you have a greater impact within divine love servitude. Now breathe into these roots, feel your feet, make an intention to truly feel your feet, not just be aware of them, but feel your feet on the ground. Now send a loving thought from this pulse of light streaming through your galactic core in your own cosmic heart. Send all this love to all the density that has ever lived through you, that was ever experienced through you in all directions of time and space. Send this thought of love, a feeling, an emanation, a reverberation of divine love through these roots to every person you've ever interacted with, physically, non-physically. The same goes for any place you've ever had an interaction, had a visitation with. All the interactions also in your dream spaces, but we're more focusing now on the physical level, the physical universal level of our reality. Imagine that going out as waves. That electrical nature expands as waves. It's like pulses that are moving through your feet. You might feel your feet getting heavier at the beginning, or you might feel like electric buzzing or pulsation. That's okay. That's all a part of this process. Depends on how you yourself will feel it, where there's more energy in terms of, how you're doing this. Just continue to breathe. It's almost like you're breathing through the soles of your feet. And as you're doing that, feel the love from your pulse, which is in between the omnipresent pulse of light, your pulse of life, and then pulsation being lived through the physical experience, through the dense matter, through what we sometimes call the gross matter on this planet. Just send a ripple, send like a ripple of love. It's almost like an earthquake of love that moves the energy. So as this is being almost like electrically shaken through you, it creates like a ripple effect. Everything that was sort of kind of like, it creates a stirring up of energy when there was a clogginess, or it's like a blockage there, or a high density. Now visualize these roots and see them as they are, perhaps in the moment, sort of blackish, grayish, dense roots. And now through the sending of this love, which we did in the initial stage, make an intent that everything that is not of that state, everything that was absorbed from the external reality, everything that functions through the world of duality, everything that was rooted in the planetary matrix, that is an artificial matrix, that is not one with the great divine blueprint of creatrix, the design of all life, and the divine brilliance and immaculate conception for all life forms, and that were perhaps was imbued within you through others, or through external reality, and the beliefs and perceptions, imprints of others, which you awareingly or unawareingly ascribe to yourself, though. So just simply hold the focus there and have an intention. You're still one with the pulse of life. What I'm feeling now is my whole body buzzes with electricity. You now make the intent, and you completely trust this life pulse, which is one with the universal life force of all. 2, through your conscious cooperation, because you are here to serve love. The intent is pure from your heart, so it does operate through you in unity. That all this which is not a part of this moves through you, and it's being sucked like a giant vacuum machine from this galactic pulse is now sucking all of this, it's draining it, and it's moving it in a spiraling formation through the white column. So just as before you send a thread of light, it travels like this in a spiraling formation through you. It roots in your heart and in your lower chakras. It moves through the feet. It sends an emanation of love. Then you breathe outwards. So when you do that, when you visualize that, again, you will perhaps, like I said, feel lots of sensation in your feet. Now bring the consciousness back in your heart. And just for a while, hold it here. Feel the pulse, which we've talked about in the previous videos. Feel the pulse. or create a pulse. Sometimes you can do like this. Just knock a little bit on your heart, and gently, please. Don't be too hard on yourself. You're not Tarzan or anything. Or just massage yourself in spiraling motion. That's okay too. Sometimes there's these great essential oils, rose, or some other ones that are really good. When you just massage them in, they create a lot of that opening, because that fragrance of the attunement to this very organic natural energy helps you to expand, because it just quiets you down, quiets the mind, and centers you in the heart. Focused in your heart center, your angelic core, your code of life of the angelic self is here, is rooted here. You are completely aware that it is here. That angel lives within you. You are that angel, and the only objective, the only goal, the only true desire of that angelic self is to serve through that divine love, is to serve in limitless options and opportunities that are constantly being presented to you, without you needing to think and strategize through them, because strategizing is of the lower mind. You simply allow this higher life force to flow through you. You're completely unified with the path of spirit, the great spirit of all, calling you back home. This is your home. See that home as a sacred chamber. Perhaps it's a room of a certain familiarity, or you've decorated a certain way, whatever it is. Just really feel that this is your heart, that your heart is authentic, it is unique only to you, it is how it is. And through that heart essence, you can do miracles. You are already a miracle itself, a miracle of life, a gift of consciousness to this plane of existence. Now, through your heart, that attunement will speed up the process of these denser particles that were rooted, through which you rooted to into this reality, will just start elevate. They will start in this coiling serpent formation, flow through the column of light, and be released back into the unity of all, which you don't have to concern about. How? It is of the great omnipresent, omnipotent creator force. How you will do this is, for a while you will just continue breathing your heart, and you will feel the feet, the heart, this omnipresence, they're all connected. It's a triad of the lowest self, the intermediate soul that enters your heart, and the spirit. And all these three aspects completely in unison co-create, function as a one holistic unit of life. With each breath in, you will hold that love. With the out breath, the energy will be released from the feet, from the ground up. Okay, so let's do that a while, a few breaths together. In breath into the heart, hold the space of love. See the heart expanding. Each time you hold it wider, there will be more pulled up. And then the out breath, breathe it out. Always you're shifting energy with the out breath. Remember that. With the breathing in, you're activating, you're holding the space. With the out breath, you're actually doing. It's like the mastery of the Tantra Life Force, how it is. You can learn more in my Tantrika Life Course Mastery. Send it out. Just feel it out. You don't have to do it. You're not the one on the mental level sending this, doing this, trying, achieving, striving for. You are simply the vessel. With each activation of the heart, the vessel expands. It has greater capacity, greater power, greater courage, greater wisdom of love. And it's released. And sorry for the noise. That noise might be a representation of that density. And when you're doing that, maybe things will come up for you. And you can use it. And then see the contrast. If there is noise, there's something very dense. Ooh, but then feel how the silence feels after that noise leaves. Through that contrast, you have learned. You have built potency. You have mastered yourself so you can be of greater assistance and service to the whole. And again, breathe in, expand the heart center, keep the activated space. With the out breath, with each time, then zoom again with your inner eye to your roots. Feel them now. Send this visual of being purified, almost like they're getting translucent. The energy pulsates fast, or you yourself might start getting tingles all over your body, or start to get electric in nature, because that's the nature of the feminine is the magnetic, it's the holds the space. The masculine is the electric nature. And we are the fusion of both. That's how we create. Only through the balanced fusion of both these polarized opposites, which in truth are not opposites. They're equals, divine equals. And you can also do like that. Feel how you're surrendering. Also through your palms. Center back in your heart. Try to feel a little, because when I did it the first time, I have to tell you, I probably held a lot of stuff from others and from this place, which is not always an easy place to live. I felt like I was dizzy. I felt like I was, a little drunk, tipsy. I don't drink at all. I felt lightheadish. It was a super feeling, but it was also, it needed a little time to ground. So when you do this exercise, you feel a little light because so much was pulled through you. Just take a moment to ground yourself. That's what we're going to do now. You will kind of like create this, what you feel now is empty space, is this vacuum. We're going to enter that and ground it into the core of Mother Gaia in her new, the crystalline core of the ascended Gaia, the ascended Earth. So you can do that. And afterwards, like I said, be gentle with yourself, be compassionate, rest a while, maybe drink some water so you can bring flow into your body physically as well. Or just maybe you're going to be guided to eat some grounding foods, which is also good. It's a part of the process. Just really intuitively trust your body and what you're guided to create in each moment. Or better said, what wants to be created through you in a natural way. So after this is done, see how you, again, through your heart, through the higher pulse of life, through your heart, you attune to the cosmic Gaia. She is also a cosmic being, not just a planetary being. So with this kind of level, you're not rooting so much into this third dimensional structure of Gaia, which perhaps you needed to for a while within your purpose. Now you're actually doing, because you are shifting in this new template, you are building your roots and you're grounding them. So see these translucent roots which you now have. They're beautiful, purified. See them kind of like they're penetrating into the structure of the crystalline earth. However, the visual for when you say things like crystalline earth or Earth's crystalline core or the core of the cosmic heart of Gaia, whatever it is, it might be a visual, it might be a feeling, it just might be that floaty sensation. It doesn't matter, because each being will always have their unique expression. I don't like it when people say it's just this way, that's how it looks, or that's how it should feel like. That's not really true. We are also the subjective nature of Source, so we will each have our own unique experience. So just see yourself rooting into the core of Gaia, the ascended Gaia, you as the ascended one as well. Now thank your higher self, thank the great spirit of all, the life force flows through you. Feel yourself as flowing vessel, and you might experience this as a side effect, which is a great side effect, a feeling of overflowing love for everything. Because remember, before you make any change, you first need to accept everything that is about the now. You don't like something about this place, let me give you one example. If I want to move, the first step I want to make is I want to see my own living space as my headquarters, as the representation of my heart. And my apartment is not what happens once I step out of the building. My direct home as a physical representation is built what I create. When I open the door is also other people. It's already creations of other people. But I'm not meant to mistaken that for that which I create within my space, because the moment we do, again, we absorb, we create these dense roots because we somehow associate it with that of the external world. And then we kind of drink it in and it becomes a part of our reality, which is not our purpose. Our purpose is to seed and to plant these roots of love, of purity, of translucent liquid light of Source, not to become a part of these miscreations and external dense environments and energies. We can be completely self-sustained. So in the last part of this, once you ground into the crystalline core of Gaia, see yourself. You can do that in a feeling. You can do it with open, closed eyes. Again, it matters not. Just see yourself being completely encased in this bubble of love. You can expand this bubble in all directions. It can be not just you, your physical body. It can be the bubble is your apartment. Or you want to say, yeah, but I also want to include these mountains in it. Include the mountains. See yourself what you want to put in this bubble. This is you. This is a direct representation of you. You don't have to put your neighbors in the bubble. You don't have to. That's not a part of the mission, is now you want to be sharing your energy with everything. If that's dense, if that's not a part of what you wish to have as your intimate space, you don't have to. You're still being love on this planet. That's a misperception that to be love, we need to be with everything. No, we need to embrace everything through love. But we don't need to put everything in our intimate bubble, because that's still a part of our discernment. That's a part of our wisdom journey. That's a part of how we grow in discernment. So put everything in our bubble, then see this bubble intermingling, interacting, and sometimes, exchanging energy and then bouncing off of various other bubbles. All these universes that everyone here on this planet is creating, not just people, but every life form. Include that and feel, just try to feel, not try, but just really feel it, this perfection of how everything exists in this vast multiverse, in this greatness of life and creation. And so be it, and so it is. I would also like to invite you, I have a new mini audiobook, MP3. It's called The Creation Principles and the Holy Elohim. And there's a lot of talk about what we've talked about here today in this video, on the meaning of creation, how life truly functions, how there's a higher creation on these hierarchies of beings, how it all becomes a part of the physical world, which governings of the different domains of these beings are in charge of different aspects of creation. And then there's this aspect of a special meaning of the Elohim and what's their mission and purpose. And there's beautiful, beautiful work there that was channeled through me. So that's available on my homepage as well as on my book tab, because the physical book of my books that I'm writing as a trilogy is not yet available, but there's 4 audiobooks now that I have there, which you can see. It's a really beautiful space so far. Everyone who's had them, I had some beautiful feedback. So thank you for watching. Please do this exercise and continue to tune into your heart of the angelic self, because you will have a massive impact. And the more you enlarge your bubble, perhaps at first you might feel, I'm just going to include a few things. That's okay. But the more you expand, the more you vibrationally grow, you might include more things. In the end, you'll have the whole world in your bubble for sure. So anyway, beautiful ones, thank you for being here. As always, so much love, wisdom, and power. It's my birthday weekend this week, and I'm actually, after a few years, going to go on a very, very short holiday, but a very meaningful for me as a transition into what I'm going to do next. As when I return home, I will love you as always. See you soon. Take care. I really feel this is an important time for a lot of us. There's so much chaos going on in the world. A lot of it, as you know, is artificially created through the groups of beings that do not want the best for this planet. But that's where our love is even more meaningful at this time. So stay away from the chaos, bring your focus in the now, and ask, instead of thinking what's wrong with the world, ask, but what can I do? Because people think they're not important, they can't have an impact. There's many people who've been doing group work, group meditation, that afterwards they've shifted the energy so much. And that's because so much love was already sent to this planet through divine intervention. We're already shifting timelines in a multifaceted way. We can't always see it, but we have changed a lot in the recent years especially. So continuously feel that. Ask Spirit for the true reality. Don't ask the news what's the true reality, because they don't have the answers. Thank you again. And happy birthday to me very soon. For those of you who don't know, it's September 15th. No secrets about that. It's when I was born. It's when I came here to this world. That's it. And I'll talk to you again very soon, quite after that, when I get back. Take care.